Cool. I'll just play more defensive until I'm ready to move out. It's normally all you have to do. That stalker move out was kind of like not needed. Then my Oracle too. My Oracle kind of ran in too quick. We'll play a little more safer. See how this barracks is this way? He wants to make a tech. Let's go check his gas.
Your probes are under attack.
Gonna make his command center. Just checking if it's a Reaper. Yep, Reaper. What do you say I am? A lot of Terran. A lot of bio.
Your probes are under attack. Your probes are under attack.
Oh shit, he's gonna take my base out.
Mineral field depleted. Our pylon is under attack. Mineral. Mineral field depleted. Our pylon is under attack. Mineral field depleted. Integrity failing. Your probes are under attack.
Oh shit, he's got 4 bases? This is a greedy ass Terran.
Search complete. Then do the Harlem Shake.
koalas is Australia? I don't know which koalas is Australia. I know Orc lives in Australia, right? I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Sloths? Oh shit, yeah. I think Australia, right? Sloths? Those slow sloths. Hey Tyra, are you there? What up Miro R? I was telling Tyra earlier to do 2 base builds sometimes, because you're gonna have situations like this. Like, oh, you guys don't have sloths? Oh, might be in the States then. Yeah, so this guy was doing some heavy early harass. I think he lost a lot trying to kill my Nexus. Oh, okay, shit. Thank you. Also in the game. Thank you so much, Miro. Miro? Is it Miro R? Thank you for the subscription, man. I highly appreciate it. Hey, what up, EX? How you been, man? This is your name? Oh, wait. Is it? I don't know if I recognize this name on Twitch. I know you on Starcraft EXXE, but on Twitch I don't think I recognize this name. How you been, man? Thank you so much. EXXE, Miro is a good old friend of mine. Known him for a long time, actually. He probably just started watching my stream recently, or how'd you find me, Miro? Yeah, so this guy right here is so sometimes you see how this barracks is built like this. They have this space for a reason. They want to make this into a tech, into it like a reactor or a tech lab or STEM or something, right? So I always like to block this one, you know. It just slows down their tech. Uh, you know what? Yeah, we could play some team games in a bit. Actually, right now after this game, we could do some team games. I need to find 3 players that want to jump in. But yeah, right here, I tend to block this area because they build like this for a reason. Fucking Hayden. Thank you, Hayden. Or unless it's somebody else that you meant. But, Sophia? Wizard? What? You're down, you want to play? Okay, I'll get Hayden in, and I'll get 2 others. Who asked me if I'm playing? I'm sure he wanted to. Taskless wants to join? Alright, then one more can join and we can play 4 games, and after that we can swap to another. Okay, so Daskless. But yeah, this right here, this is a predicament. I mean, okay, so I created this build for a reason. I just I'm barely I'm still getting the gist of the build, because I started developing this probably like by the time I found out that the Tempests are getting a boost, somewhere around that time. So I was like, you know what, Tempest will be a good time to bring out because they're faster. In this map, they're not that fast. I can't micro and pull back because the Marines stim. So I was developing this one for the fact that I used to do it in HOTS, but I just brought it out recently because of the fact that the new change kicked in, or it's gonna kick in. But you see this right here? You see how this pylon is affecting him? He wanted to get a reactor and bust marine and get more marines right now. So the fact that I made one pylon right here in front of this really slows down something that he wanted to do. And it scouts for me. It allows me to know if it's a Reaper or what is it. But whenever you see a barracks not exactly in this little spot and it's supply depot block, it's going to be for a tech. So he's going to make his Reaper and then he's going to resubmit to a reactor. So he has to float it down. See? But at the same time, now I can see it's a double racks. Now for Terrans, sadly, you know, Terrans have an advantage. They're able to get the Reaper out and do damage, and because of that damage, you have to get the Stalker out, right? And because you have to get the Stalker out, it allows them to get a faster command center. See how his command center is way faster? I'm barely starting mines because of the fact that the transition, the way it works is, they get their expansion faster, and so I try to at least get the Z-Lot in to avoid some type of comfortability on his part. So I'm trying to hold off so he doesn't land it so quickly. But yeah, they always try this. A couple Marines and then they could just mass up on some. But now he's going for a stim attack. Now he's going to my base. And so like Protoss is stronger, but they're very, like, in numbers they're not that strong. Like these Marines and Marauders, I mean, they crush Protoss stalkers. And if you go Colossus too early, then the Colossus gets sniped really quick because they're not, they don't have the range yet. So that's why I get the Tempest. Tempest allows me to at least to hit from farther range. But I can't get out too far because my battery shields are here, or else this will crush my stalkers. But my Tempests are the ones really whittling things down. That's the reason why I get Tempest. It's kind of like universal. The Tempests allow me to deal with this type of harass. It allows me to deal with the Widow Mine drop harass. It would allow me to do the Liberator deny. Like if he gets Liberators, I'll deny it with the Tempest. So the Tempest for me is very important because of that. I'm the only one that does this build because I created it, but that's the reason why I do it. Now I have to. Well, if you won't make space sports, it's called this way. You can get Nexus before Terran can. You could, but you're gonna get punished if you get it way too quick. Because that means you're gonna produce out of these probes, and you're gonna get stalkers out of it because you don't have the income, and it's gonna take you a while to get like a robo to get an immortal. I mean, you could try to get an immortal quick, but I don't think it's safe to get a early Nexus versus a Terran when it comes to like these plays right here. Very aggressive plays. Yeah, if you go too early Nexus, you might slow down on your stalker. You're gonna get killed with Reapers, or you're gonna lose a lot of probes with Reaper, or lose a lot of mining time. It's there's a gift and a curse with it. But the other thing though is, say you do get this build right for Terran. Say you do get this build. Yeah, you get the Nexus, you got probes. Finally, you feel good, and all of a sudden he comes in with like tanks and Marine, Marauder, Medevac, and Liberator. So you get the Liberator zone, couple tanks. Now this Nexus is gone because you don't have the right units to kill the tanks. You'd have to get disruptors, try to hope that the disruptors land, that they don't get shot in the process of tanks because they're barely manageable to get there, but not exactly. So the Tempest actually outrange so that you could actually take out the tank uh, contain. So I use the Tempest a lot better, but you can't get the Tempest after Nexus because then it's late. And if it's late, then you can't do too much with it. So you have to get it early. Yeah, it's like going Nexus first on a 12 pool. It's not safe. You could do it. You could do it, but it's not safe. You know. I make this pylon right here. This is more of a defensive pylon. Just to let me know when the armies come and settle. You don't want tanks to get settled up and you don't actually have vision. So I use my pylon to kind of give me vision. I mean, look at this. Terran's already getting a third already. You know, and I'm barely getting composition to be able to get out. If I move out too early and make a Nexus for a third, then his stim Marauders and all that, medevacs, Vikings can come in and just destroy it and destroy my army because we're slow units. So here is his mistake. He came over trying to end the Nexus, but normally you could take it out, but I made 2 battery shields to heal it back up. He thought this was all he needed to snipe it. It's still painful for me in regards to the fact that, you know, he can come in and just destroy some of my probes and he can get a third base, which means 3 mules at a time. Very complicated, the Terran players. But you know, that's why I stick on 2 bases, because if I go 3 bases, I extend too much, then they kill me. So normally I'll make a hidden base with this play, and that way at least I can get gas for a little bit. They won't see it coming, but it's risky. But yeah, look at Vikings, Marine Marauders. If you're out of position, you're gonna lose. Now, the Vikings can't snipe the Tempest here because I have 2 battery shields, and that's why I get the battery shields on the high ground. I get it so that I can protect the Tempest. Because once the Tempests are hurt and they gotta back off, now the Terran can have more range. But the Colossus is the next thing. So the first thing is Stalkers and Tempest. That's gonna force out Marine, Marauder, and then Viking. They get Bile so that they can counter the Stalkers and the Tempest, but then my Colossus is next to counter the Bile. Because if I did it the other way around, I did Colossus first, then they can snipe the Colossus way faster, and the Colossus won't do the damage that I needed to. But if I do it Tempest first, I can contain, and then the Colossus can do their damage, because the Colossus can't come in and deny the tanks. If the tanks are surrounding you in an early tank, Colossus isn't going to do shit. It's only there to kind of go, hey, you can't go further than this, and that's maybe, you know, because, you know, but Tempest will be like shutting down the tank contain. Then the Vikings get countered a little bit by the Tempest because I have battery shields, so I'm just holding my ground here. See that? He didn't know Colossus were there, so I was like, oh shit. Can't go in too much because he's got Colossus now. So now he has to go by home, but he's getting a 4th base now. Look at this. Terran players, I tell you. Very, and yet they cried so much about Protoss players. Look at this army. They got like they're weak, but they can get a lot of them. So then they become strong. It's not exactly, you know, that they're weak in general. They're strong. Their income, you know, to make these is not that much, but they got mules. They got all this stuff that they could do. They can do a lot behind it. Me, I have to use creative play, like Mothership. It's going over here. Would I, you know, I would love to have Mothership here, but then they'll scan, and then all of a sudden Mothership's not as strong as they would be. The new patch is going to help a lot with the Mothership. It's going to allow to be able to zone out these for 50% less damage, which means that they're going to be more cautious about getting into that zone. But still, I mean, Look, they just come in, storm, and get out. I mean, that don't leave me with one base. One base versus 4 base. And they could just come in and take out Colossus. It's pretty complex. It's the whole reason why this build is, I designed it this way, because it's really hard to deal with like macro Terran and still be getting good leads. Because if he gets Vikings for the Colossus, if you don't get Tempest, the Vikings will counter the Colossus. Once the Colossus are done, the Stalkers get crushed. So the Tempests are kind of like to protect the Colossus, so the Colossus could do more damage to the bio. And then, you know, the Stalkers are just the buffers for the Storm. And the reason why I don't go upgrades is because you can't get a big army where the upgrades matter more. You know, it's like, yeah, I can have upgrades on these units, but I mean, they're not going to be that much useful when only a few of them have upgrades. So that's what the Storm is for. The Storm is used like my upgrades. Instead of upgrades, I got a lot of Storm.
Do the Harlem Shake.
And then look at this. Oh shit. Hacksaw Jimmy, what up? How's it going? And then that's where the mothership comes into play. So the mothership allows me to force out a choke army attack right here. But if not, then it allows me to take out all his structures. Or at least most of his structures. That way, he's not as strong as he should be. Yeah, then you recall home because you don't want to get stuck over here with this army. Look at this army. He's just waiting for the right opportunity. He wants to contain you with turrets, and then that way he can see you, your army. And here I'm just like making sure his expansions aren't being utilized that much. I'm kind of like waiting for his attack. Waiting for him to come in, but he's not coming in so quickly. Look at this army, it's a big ass army. He's making another command center. This guy is greedy as fuck. But, you know, they're allowed to sometimes. At least Terran. I think Terran more than Zerg. Come over here. Take out his tech. He's waiting for me. He's like, you can't get out. You're gonna get then I recall back so I can get out of this area, because you know there's nothing good to be attacking him here. You want to attack him from the outsides. So I recall home, recollect the other army that I've been building for the meantime. Putris has been following Florencio for 6 days. Oh shit. Zergtro, how's it going? I'm Vanga. How's it going, Zergtro? Zergtro, if you're a Protoss player, try to get to Masters without upgrades and warp gates, and see if that's actually bashings or not. You go ahead and do it. If you could do it, you know, then I'm the scumbag. But I want to see you go Bronze to Masters with no upgrades, no standard play, no warp gates, no cannon rush. You do that, and then I'm a scumbag. Because I don't think most of you guys can do that. I don't think you guys have the strategies to do that. So, you guys can call me a scumbag after you guys do it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I have a shitload of restraints. No cannon rush, no hotkeys, all maps, no standard meta. What is it? No warp gate. I don't have warp gate. I have to do this without warp gate. You know, can't get forge upgrades. You know, everything's pretty much. I'm freaking bone dry with my strategies right here. I have to play creative in order to win these games. But I'm doing it because a lot of people think that I can't get to masters without cannon rushing, because you know that's what people go, oh well, you can't do it without cannon rushing. I'm like, you can't do it without this. You have to cheese to win. I'm like, okay, well, I'll play without this. I'll play without that. I'll get to masters and we'll end it. And then after that, I get to continue my grind in NA to GM. I mean, if I was going to bronze to masters, cannon rushing, and doing all the regular stuff, yeah, I'd be a pretty scumbag, because that's actually easy to do. But this isn't easy to do. Production. This guy should have killed me, you know, every single time. It's only strategy that allowed me to win. Yeah. But I tried like explaining what I'm doing, what I'm